Well, happy Halloween to everybody. What a better deck to review for trick or treat season than the Trick or Treat Tarot, another classic by Barbara Moore, and great illustrations by Jonathan Hutt. This is a Llewellyn production. It comes in a large magnetic closure box by Llewellyn. The box is kind of big for my taste, but it also comes with a great big guidebook. It's called Trick or Treater's Companion, and this is like 200 pages. There's the back of the cards, by the way, and it's a very substantial book. It has a little bit of information about a specific card and some more general information about the tarot card. But the pages are really big here. If we compare this with the card, you can see that the page is quite large compared to the card, which, by the way, is just a little bit shorter than a typical tarot card. This is a AGM Pebbleback, standard tarot size. It's the same width, just a little bit shorter than the AGM. But anyways, I want to begin so I get through this quick. This is our Fool beginning his journey. Notice he's kind of dejected, and he's got a tattered sheet for his ghost costume. If we look closer, we see his little jack-o'-lantern container for the candy has a broken strap, and it also has a sorrowful face for the container. It's just kind of frowning there. Little black cat in the background. Notice the house behind us is not lit, and there's nothing going on as far as Halloween decorations. So he's kind of beginning his journey, but he feels dejected as he begins his journey. He doesn't have all the right equipment. Our Magician card, we have Real Magician, I guess. The cards have been suspended midair, and he has all his implements he needs: a wand, sword, cup, and pentacle. A little skull candle there, and he may be a true magician. I love the shadow behind him too. That's pretty cool. Okay, our High Priestess. We have a lady here, and she's probably doing tarot. I don't know what deck that is because I can't quite see the backs of the cards. A couple of pomegranates here on the table, and he has drapes, a purple drape and a white drape here, a gray drape, with a starry background for the sky, kind of representing columns, pillars, on each side of her. Hey, our Empress card. We have an Empress dressed as a kangaroo, and she's attending to two trick-or-treaters here. And she has her child behind her, and she could well be pregnant, I don't know. But that could just be the pouch for the kangaroo, like they have in the wild. Hey, next we have the Emperor, and his costume here, he's looking out from his neck here, but he's holding a lit jack-o'-lantern above his head. That's pretty cool. He has a large sword here, and we have a dog. There are a lot of dogs on this deck, but there's a little dog here in the foreground, and he's being followed by a couple of kids. Okay, we have the Hierophant. This is Mr. Rogers, and he's telling a story, I guess, to the kids here who are seated around him. Now, they got away with a lot of copyright infringements by not stating anywhere in the guidebook who these figures are. So they're all dressed in Halloween costumes. So that way they circumvented copyright info. Okay, next we have the Lovers, and it looks like the Addams family, I believe, Morticia and whatever that other guy's name was. I can't remember him, but I remember the TV show. Have a large bat flying above them in front of a full moon. So that's pretty cool. It's a nice Lovers card. Hey, next we have the Chariot, and we have a cat in a hat. and he doesn't seem too happy about going trick-or-treating. A couple of the kids are dragging him along. Let's see what the book says on that card. I'm going to look at the book real quick here. Okay, the Chariot. Let's read what that has to say. Why is this card called the Chariot when there is no vehicle? That's its name, even though it isn't about conveyance at all. You can guess what it is about. Trying to move forward while managing opposing forces. The cat guardian is exhausted by the effort of managing the little engines that could and did. So there's a full page card for you. So I wondered when I saw that, why it wasn't a typical Chariot card, but nonetheless, it's what represented well. Okay, next we have Strength, and this is he's getting a back rub from a lady there, and there's a red rose here on the ground, and I'm not sure what type of costume that is. Maybe it's Beauty and the Beast. That could be it. Beauty and the Beast. Hey, next we have the Hermit, and we have a great Hermit card here. We have the Hermit with his lantern, and he's atop the roof, and he's throwing candy down to these delighted little trick-or-treaters. So that's an interesting Hermit, where he just casts the candy down from the roof. Hey, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and here I see something like red and blue pills, perhaps. The Matrix, I think. So that's what's going on there. Love the fluorescent lights above him, and I like the candy, the way it's just being strewn about. Hey, next we have the Monopoly figure, I guess. He's got his bag of money there. And our Justice figure is the Statue of Liberty. I don't see any scales. She's just holding the torch. And, well, it's an interesting Justice card. Hey, we have the Hanged Man. We've got a vampire, is it? Yes, I guess it's Dracula, apparently. And I love the use of orange here for the sky, contrasting with the purple below. It's a really good coloring here on this card. And we have a couple of startled kids here, and they're getting away from this guy. Interesting death card. We have Skull figure here with the scythe, and he's holding out a red rose. And the little trick-or-treater there is kind of apprehensive about accepting that rose, I'm sure. Notice the use of brilliant reds and oranges in the sky again, and kind of a purplish ground. Okay, getting on to Temperance. We have a lady here, and she's pouring a cocktail from the shaker. And I don't know if that's supposed to be a martini. It doesn't look like a cosmopolitan, but it could be because there's so many different flavors. And we have a jack-o'-lantern here on the table. And I love her hat there. It's pretty cool. So interesting Temperance card. The Devil isn't very imposing, which can be a good thing. We have a female devil here with another alcoholic cocktail in her hand. I love her little pitchfork, and I love the red costume. Hey, next we have the Tower, and Frankenstein is on this card. Frankenstein has a little box here connected to electricity, and he's blowing up this tower with electrical current. So pretty cool Tower card. Hey, next I have the Star. I have a ballerina, perhaps. She's dancing, and interesting card. She's self-absorbed in her dancing, and is oblivious to, seems like the night of Halloween. Hey, coming up on the Moon, we don't have a moon, but we have an interesting card. We have a lady in Mexican attire here. She's in front of a starry sky. And look at the dogs. A white dog with a little patch of black right there, and a black dog, if you look closely, a white ear on the other side. And she's bobbing for something. I don't think those are apples, but they could be red and green apples, I guess. Our moon card. We have a little trick-or-treater here with a sunflower costume. Pretty cool, I like that. She's trying to blow out a bat cake. And the cat looks like he wants in on the action. Okay, our judgment card is different. We have a figure here seated upon a stepladder. She's blowing a trumpet. And there's tombstones here. There's also hands coming out of their tombs. So an interesting judgment. Now look here at our world card. Okay, here we see our little guy who was at the beginning. He was in a tattered costume with a broken strap on his candy container, and there's the face on the candy container is frown. And here he is, the same guy. He's got the same striped blue shirt on. He has the same red shoes. But look, his candy container, the strap has been fixed, and the container is smiling. So he went from being dejected and kind of feeling bad about trick or treat, but he came back victorious. And so that's the world card. We have a little wreath here also on the door. So here we have a very dark, foreboding house, perhaps. And here we have a very brightly lit, inviting house. So you can tell I don't think it's the same house. I don't believe it is. But quite interesting, the transition from the beginning of the journey to the end in completion. Very interesting. Okay, moving on to wands. I have our ace. Have a hand here reaching out from a red drape. There's a little red pendant here. And that represents, is it blood? I'll have to look. Hold on a second. I go to wands here real quick. Okay, Ace of Wands. Even non-magical folk can flourish a wand on Halloween, sometimes a surprising effect. It might even be easier to create magic with this fire-breathing, dragon-shaped wand. Fun fact, the little red triangle on the it's a bracelet, okay, is a symbol for fire, okay. Symbol for fire. Don't be afraid, pick up the wand and make something happen. So that's pretty cool. So that was our Ace of Wands. Next we have the Two of Wands. We have a zombie figure, I believe. And appropriately, she has two bloody brains on the top of her wands. So that's our zombie figure for the two. Our three, I believe we have another zombie here. Has to hold onto his falling eyeball. It's part of his costume. But he has to keep his hand on his face to maintain the costume. Now, that's pretty cool. Next, we have the Four of Wands. We have a lady here, and she's surrounded by her children, I guess. Have a baby. We have a little toddler there, and they're already being trained to trick or treat. That's pretty cool. Okay, we have the Five of Wands. They're trying to get candy out of this Mexican piñata, I think they call it. So they're striking the spider with their wands, and they're hoping for a easy return on their investment. Hey, next we have the Six of Wands. We have Roman knight type of character. He holds a little dragon in his hand, and it looks like he's on a donkey. I can see the donkey's mouth there, but it's pretty cool. He has some figures watching him in the background. Hey, next we have the Seven of Wands. Whack-a-Mummy. Okay, whack a mummy. Well, the mummy's certainly getting whacked. It looks like he can defend himself a bit because he has a wand in his hand, trying to ward off the missiles coming at him. We have another cute dog here down at the bottom. So a lot of dogs and some cats. Okay, our Eight of Wands, we have a flock of bats. Is there such a thing as a flock of bats? Okay, we have an orange moon, and we have rather orange-colored bats. That's pretty cool. Next, we have the Nine of Wands. We have a Star Wars figure here with his lightsaber. And that down there, it looks like a smashed pumpkin. And between those wands there at the bottom. Hey, next we have the Ten of Wands. And we have a monster figure here. I don't know which movie that's from, if indeed it's from one. He has a cauldron here going on. And he's trying to steal, looks like he's trying to steal wands. So we have a couple of figures here in the background. Hey, our Page of Wands. We have a person here blowing a large, what do they call those things? I don't know, horns or whatever. And this is a dragon costume. So quite a large costume there for a kid, that's for sure. Okay, our Knight of Wands. We have a guy here dressed as a Roman knight, and he's on a very difficult to pull wood chariot with just carved wheels, and he's depending on that little toy pony there to pull him. I think that this might have been a better chariot card than the cat in a green hat, or what do you call them, cat in hat. Okay, next we have the Queen of Wands. We have a witch here, and her wand is red, has a red fire emitting from it. And there's a terrible starving cat down here beside her. Love her cauldron, like the way they colored the liquid in the cauldron. It's pretty cool. Okay, next we have the King of Wands, and we have a throne that resembles a coffin. And he's seated upon his throne, and he has as a pet a little rat. So, well, okay, teach their own. Moving on to cups. I have an Ace of Cups here. I have a bat here at the top holding on to a small pumpkin or gourd. And we have the hand reaching out from behind a curtain. And we have a skull cup here, which is kind of odd, but I think they actually sell things like that. You know, skull chalices. Okay, our Two of Cups. We have a couple here, and I guess they're involved here romantically, obviously. We have a tree here with little Halloween decorations, and a typical Two of Cups toast going on. That's pretty cool. Next, we have the Three of Cups. We have three witches here interacting, doing another toast here with their cups. And very, very nice scene. They're above their cauldron. And happy spell casting to you, people. Okay, next we have the Three of Cups. We have, looks like a dinosaur here. And we have a person in that costume. It looks like they're disappointed in what they scored for Halloween. I don't see a lot of candy on the table, just a few pieces. And that awful candy corn, which I hated as a kid, and to this day still do. But anybody that gives you loose candy corn in your trick-or-treat bag, they're cheap people, let me tell you. Okay, next we have the Five of Cups. We have, I guess, Dracula figure here. Okay, and her cups have been tipped over here, but two remain on the desk behind her. So interesting card. Hey, for our Six of Cups, we have the Joker from one of the 1980s Batman movies, I think. And he is holding a chalice over to a young trick-or-treater. The chalice has, a cupcake. That is a cupcake right here. I can see it now. and he's extending that towards the pumpkin-dressed trick-or-treater. Hey, next we have the Seven of Cups. We have a beautiful Disney, what do you call her? Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell, that's it. Tinkerbell in a nice costume there. And there are some cups. So what's it say? Pick the poison is a sign on the shelf there. Next we have the Eight of Cups. We have some type of a marble type of figure perhaps. Very large pumpkin here in a very large cup. And the smaller cups have small pumpkins or gourds in them in the foreground. Next we have the Nine of Cups. We have a mermaid here, and she has cups with different colors of energy coming out of them, and the rest of the cups are on the staircase. Nice little chandelier here. Okay, our Ten of Cups reveals the Wizard of Oz. Once again, they get around copyrights by dressing the characters in costumes. So they get, this is interesting. Remember those flying monkeys in that movie that terrified you as a kid? And probably still do terrify kids today? Those are those little flying monkeys. And they're suspended from those tree branches there. Also, this card is interesting. They went through the poppy field, which the Wicked Witch created to put Dorothy to sleep. And these are poppies down here in the cups. And this is a poppy field here on the horizon. Interesting Ten of Cups card. Hey, next we have the Page of Cups. We have a lady here in some type of a dancing costume. She has a cup. It has a little bit of blue, probably alcoholic liquid, I guess, in there. I don't know what it is. And she's in front of an arched doorway. Hey, next we have the Knight of Cups. We have another Roman attired figure here with a beautiful gold chalice. And he's toasting someone in the room we can't see. Next, we have the Queen of Cups. We have an awful looking doll down here with dark wings on it. That would scare me as a kid, I'll tell you. Okay, so she's seated upon, well, I wouldn't call that a throne. I would call that a very tall back chair. And she has a cup of ugly green liquid oozing out of it. Hey, our King of Cups. This is the creature from the Black Lagoon, and I don't know if you folks remember that. That was from the 50s. It's a black and white movie, but it's a classic horror movie. And I also have a little creature of the Black Lagoon. I have a little wind-up guy here, because I have a couple of little wind-up robots, and when you wind him up, he walks. So it's an interesting 10 toy. But that's our creature from the Black Lagoon. Okay, moving on to Pentacles. I've got, could be an Ace of Pumpkins here, but it's an Ace of Pentacles. We got another arm coming out from behind the curtain, as in the other ace. And here we are. It's a nice, interesting Ace of Pentacles. Okay, our Two of Pentacles. We have a figure here in a pirate costume. There are the Pentacles. And there's a couple of little trick-or-treaters there. I like the ships here in the background. And I like the, I was going to say it's a cat, but that's somebody in a cat costume. That's quite clever. Hey, next we have the Three of Pentacles. We have three figures here, and they're working together, but they're building a scarecrow in lieu of anything else. They're developing a scarecrow, building a scarecrow, perhaps to win a contest or something. Here we have the Four of Pentacles, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have the King of the Pumpkin Patch seated on the top of the pumpkins there. That's pretty cool. We have another little dog here, a little terrier perhaps, in the foreground. Hey, next we have the Five of Pentacles. We have a couple of trick-or-treaters here, but they're rather apprehensive to approach this house. It only has pentacles visible in the windows, and they're not sure if they want to go there and ask for candy. I think they might get tricked more than they got treated on this card. Hey, next we have the Six of Pentacles. We have a couple of trick-or-treaters here. Looks like an adult in some bizarre costume there. And that's our Six of Pentacles. Okay, Elvis Presley's coming up on the Seven of Pentacles. And he's not a very good Elvis, but there he is. And here's our Seven Pentacles. And he's ready to rock on out the night. Okay, next we have the Eight of Pentacles. This is from 101 Dalmatians. This is Cruella, who was the main character in that. This is one of the first books I had as a little kid. I actually remember this book. It's long gone now, but it's an interesting book. Cruella used to scare me when I was a kid. I used to have nightmares about her. Okay, Elvira for our Nine of Pentacles. And there she is in her typical attire. And she has a glass here of some weird green vapor coming out of it. But there she is. Hey, our Ten of Pentacles. This is the Munsters, another 60s TV show. They still play reruns of it now. But here we have Herman and Uncle Fester. And we have Morticia, and we have Eddie. And this is not Wendy. This is the blonde, like, nanny they had, or housekeeper, that they had in the show. I don't see Wendy in this picture, and I don't know why. Okay, next we have the Page of Pentacles. This is a rather ghoulish costume for a kid, I think. And he's got brains. He's got a cooler full of brains. I guess he's a zombie, maybe, with a cooler full of brains. Next, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Rather odd card, odd costume. I don't know if I'd trust this guy if I ran into him in an alley. But has a wand there. Oh, no, that's an axe, excuse me. He has a nasty-looking axe there. And a blue pentacle shield. Hey, next we have the Queen of Pentacles. We have, oh, I don't know if she's a witch or what, but she doesn't have her hat on. Kind of a disturbing card. I don't like this Raggedy Ann doll, whatever it is. And I can't quite tell. Looks like another doll. Some creepy doll there in a cage. Not a good card. Okay, next we have the King of Pentacles. And we have a king here holding his pentacle up. And I'm not sure what costume that is, but it's interesting. Moving on to swords. Our Ace of Swords, we have another hand extended from another drape or curtain. And we have a bunch of bats here on the card, which is quite clever. It's interesting. Next, we have the Two of Swords. And we have a figure seated upon a tombstone and with two swords with a crescent moon in the background. And there's the graveyard. Next, we have the Three of Swords. Instead of piercing a heart, they have pierced a jack-o'-lantern, or pumpkin. I guess that's a pumpkin. Cut it to pieces, by the way. It's definitely a dead pumpkin. Okay, next we have the Four of Swords. Well, we have a guy here with a huge sword. He's inside of a coffin which is stood upright. And a little alarm clock here and a stack of books. And, don't know. I'm going to look this card up real quick. The Four of Swords. Let's check that out. Hey, the Four of Swords. This is an ingenious costume. The vampire, he's a vampire. The vampire can leave his coffin and enjoy the party, scare people, or charm them, as vampires have sometimes been known to do. All of that socializing can be exhausting after a while. Luckily, he can stay in character while taking a little break. It can also be a way to avoid someone. When vampires are resting, they are dead to the world, aren't they? Well, there he is. Okay, so that's our Four of Swords. Okay, next we have the Five of Swords. We have, I have a monster here in the background. We have a crayon, a yellow crayon, and we have an intimidating figure here balanced precariously on a bird bath. And she has a huge knife. Just terrible. Maybe she's going to try to chop the tip of the crayon off. I hope she doesn't miss. Okay, then we have the Six of Swords. Here we have a boat, and it's going down a little canal here into the mouth of a monster, I believe. So I don't know about that voyage there. We have a couple of figures in the boat. We have this intimidating death figure here with his scythe, and a very unusual Six of Swords, but that's what they did. Next, we have the Seven of Swords. We have a jester, and he's marching away with his swords here. We have a raccoon. Raccoon was introduced on this card. We have a little home here with a brilliant yellow light. Interesting card, a jester. Okay, we have a mummy here for the Eight of Swords. So that's our Eight of Swords card. Pretty good mummy costume, I guess. It'd take a long time to wrap all that stuff around you, that's for sure. Okay, our Nine of Swords. Well, we have a lady here. It looks like she's waking up, and she sees this ghoulish creature beside her bed, unless she's just dreaming of this. But I think that's somebody in a costume there. And but it's quite the card, quite the Nine of Swords. Okay, our Ten of Swords. We have a dead scarecrow here. He's being pierced right through the heart by somebody in, I don't know what costume that is. I think I might recognize it eventually, but I don't know. So that's our Ten of Swords. And next we have the Page of Swords. We have a character here in a weird costume. Let me know in the comments if you know what character it's supposed to be, with a large blade perched upon his back. Okay, our Knight of Swords. We have somebody coming in the window. Okay, coming in the window with a bloody sword and a bunch of candles on the table there. Our Queen of Swords. Have a blue queen here with a blue pumpkin and another dog, another little perhaps terrier, as she's seated upon a high back chair. And interesting queen. And finally, wrapping it up, I have the King of Swords with a what do you call it, mask there? I can't remember right now. Not the Shriek, but I don't know what it is, but you know that mask I'm talking about. Scream mask. Very long sword, and I'm not sure if he's going in or out. But that wraps up the deck. There's the back of the cards again. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and thanks for watching, and I hope you have a pleasant Halloween season. I hope you have a lot of peace and prosperity. I hope you enjoy yourself. And catch you on the next one.